Alright, what's going on everybody? VSchwantz27 here, and it looks like we have a Shadow, Gao, and Edgar start. Shadow has Throw, Rage, and Dance for our Gao, and we've got Jump for our Edgar. So let's go ahead and mark those down here. We are doing a draft race, so we did know that our three starting characters were going to be Edgar and Shadow and Gao. Let's talk about some of the other options that we've got in the seed here. We have an open world setting, which means you could basically go anywhere you'd want to go. Any checks are open and available for you. The enemies are scaled random abilities, which is really cool. One of the new options that was selected was that the stronger spells can't be learned from magic. So that'll be interesting. Although I think that was overwritten by Bespoke Espers. And it looks like Saber is got us into the Opera House now, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to his audio because we're doing the opera, baby. So here we go. Oh, my hero and all that. Yeah, Fitz, if you want to jump in to the restream, I will restream. There it is. Parachuting in from the Epic is one free Fitz. Thank you so much, Fitz, for hopping on board. Alright, so essentially, why is Saber in the Opera House? Let's see. We do have an objective to obtain an Illumina from performing in the opera. As you can see, we have a 5-character and 8 Esper requirement for Final Kefka in today's race, which basically means that it's going to be a lot faster of a race than normal, which should be interesting to keep our runners on our toes. We also get a skip at 18 checks, so that's the amount of checks that we have in order to unlock Kefka, plus 5. That's where that 18 figure comes from. As I said, we are doing an open world seed, so you can access any check that you would like. And we've got our runners in mostly different spots here, although 2 of them are in the Returner's hideout with that shadow that looks awfully chilly and frozen. So Saber just got his hands on head, hanging back now, as he is going to finish up the opera scene here. Some dried meat we just picked up for Gao's check, which is really nice to start off with because we do have only 3 characters in our party, so that's really good for us. Because this way we don't have to do a potential search for it, and we also don't have to reduce our party down, because normally you need to reduce your party down to 3 people if you would like to have the Gao check, but since we already start off with 3 people, that's a good one here. Alright, what are some of our other options here? So there is a plus 20 strength stat to win the Coliseum match. And we have a 5% chance that all chests contain a random monster encounter, which I believe is what we're seeing out of Jefe here, accidentally picking a flan, some delicious dessert, out of that random encounter. I didn't see what rages we have, so we'll have to see if Jefe decides to pick on a good one. I am joined by one free Fitz, I believe. What's up, Fitz?
How's it going?
Complete.
Yo, what's going on? How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. Had a tasty breakfast.
Mm.
Some biscuit gravy, some crispy hash browns, and was playing a little bit of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I saw there was a restream, and I was like, let me get on that.
Well, welcome and thanks for hopping in real fast. Always a pleasure to have our volunteers just hop in whenever they see fit. I threw up the bat signal and somebody appeared. Actually, I didn't even throw up the bat signal. Your spidey sense was tingling, I guess, there.
I'm looking at these flags here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy draft. We had 24 picks, so it's a little bit hard to parse through some of them. We do have experience is multiplied by 4 and 6 for magic and gold instead of 3 and 5. So our runners are going to get more levels than we're used to, especially with that near horizon there. Will be nice. And Saberwolf picks the box. I think that we saw Jefe pick with the flan in it. That's one of the newer flags in the draft. Jex Rocks getting a monster in a barrel there. Thank goodness we could just throw a Revivify on it. What else do we got? We have Open World. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not Open World. It's Wide Open Horizon, which is what we used to have. But okay. Sorry, some of the subsequent picks override the previous picks, and I'm trying to parse through them very quickly. Random enemy bosses' abilities. The Curse Shield, if we ever find Lock, is going to be between 1 and 8 battles to decurse, and we might be able to obtain Paladin Shields in shops in the Coliseum and chests, so we'll be on the lookout for that. And we have a better item pool for our dead checks. They more match our Ultra Sleek settings rather than the default high tier items. So with the nearer horizon of getting 5 characters and 8 espers in mind, 18 check Kefka Tower skip, and this set of characters fits, what do you think our runners will be going for first?
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. Having a known throw shadow. It doesn't look like they chose no free lunch, so to speak. So
yeah,
having these characters, I mean, basically what I would do is grab Edgar. I might do a Coliseum check first. I see that's a plus 20 vigor.
Yep.
We're gonna be throwing stuff and probably hitting stuff. I did notice that in Narsh there's Atma weapons for sale.
Oh, nice.
For pretty cheap. So with that experience boosted, the scaling is a little bit more aggressive, which is honestly probably good, because if you're getting the Kefka's Tower earlier, Kefka's always the same.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have a card that changes how difficult Kefka is.
That would be a cool one to actually scale Kefka.
Yeah. Well, normally we'd be scaling it down, because Final Kefka, their levels are actually at level like 70 or something like that for most of the parts of the final boss. So it's unfortunate that you could scale it down. Scaling it up would be interesting. I know you can have an objective that will add 99 levels to Final Kefka kind of thing. So maybe there's a way we could do it and figure it out. We'll have to brainstorm and get back to you on that one.
Yeah, for sure. And just looking at these picks and it's very interesting, because I think there were 2 Calmness. They both got used.
Yeah, one was feeble characters and one was Go-Go. No love for Go-Go, unfortunately.
I would say that overall, they've seemed to have picked a fast seed that's going to be a lot of physical offense.
Yeah. Because we are getting tiered espers, right? Similar to how we have it in Ultras League. So the more powerful stuff will show up less often.
Ooh, okay. So the phase shifts, I'll be curious to see.
All right, so Shadow's free check is an offering, and we see a Moogle on the Veld. What is that animal doing on the Veld?
He's either a very angry Moogle, or he's been spending a little bit too much time in the sun of the Veld.
Yeah, it looks like Edgar and Gao both have been a little sunburnt, so maybe
they've been vacation. Just got back from vacation.
little Christmas in July here for our runners.
Well, I guess Edgar's from the desert anyway, right? So maybe
that makes
Mog-
sense. He doesn't need to work on his tan.
They fell asleep on the roof of Figaro Castle and got themselves a sunburn. Yeah, these are interesting starting characters. My opening would probably be to get my freebies.
Oh.
Do Serpent Trench into Floating Continent.
Yeah, so we do see Serpent Trench for Drinks Glue, and we have Floating Continent for Jefe, and we have Stray Cat as one of our rages as he's picked up on. So I didn't actually see what Mog has as an ability. Did the draft command not work? Oh boy. Oh, that command does not exist. Okay, hold on. Let's fix that.
Yeah, I know you did something.
There we go. There we go. So yeah, so those are the options for the draft. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I think with a throw character, right, you tend to cut your looting a little bit short once you found your throwables, and then you just start to go. And that's what we're seeing from both Jefe and Drinks Glue here.
And we did have, yeah, I mean, we know there's an Illumina that we can just go get.
Which is what Saberwolf got.
And we know Edgar can use it naturally, so it's like, Edgar's also got natural jump. He's like, Edgar, figured out. You know, Shadow offense, figured out. Oh, Gao's got Stray Cat.
Yes.
Pretty figured out. I saw a Prussian in the Serpent Trench. That's another high tier rage, just in case. That's probably more useful until we start to get levels for the physical damage to take over.
Yeah, looking through that rage list, other than Stray Cat and maybe Madam for Pearl spells, we are we're stuck with Stray Cat. Lullaby, not gonna do much to Air Force there. Jex Varrock in the Coliseum. I think he. Oh boy, that's not a fight you'd like to see. And unfortunately,
especially when you're just doing one just to get a win, probably, and not for like an item.
Correct. Yeah, he did get the +20 magic power, but didn't save, so he might have to back out. Meanwhile, Saberwolf shows us that Gao can use the Illumina, so Stray Cat Illumina Gao is an option on the table for us, which is a bit overkill, but hey, you might as well.
Now, does Pearl proc with Cat Scratch?
Oh no, Jex Varrock is frozen in the Coliseum. We might have a Pearl Lance or a Pearl Rod from somewhere.
Yeah, because really with Stray Cat, anything that hits hard, I'd love to see a sniper. The sniper is my favorite sniper offering.
Well, we do have access to an offering from Shadow's free check, and that is our first Esper on the board there, Tirado, at the Floating Continent #1 spot. So Jefe jumping out to the Shiny Stone lead. Got a speed +1, really nice for your jump user. Drinks Glue, meanwhile, also grabs an Esper there at the end of the Serpent Trench. Saberwolf showing us something new, I believe. I don't think any of our runners went to Figaro Castle yet.
Gao is unfrozen, but is doing a death dance.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is. Another offering on the Figaro throne as well. Multiple offerings this seed.
Well, and Atma weapons for sale for only like 34,000 gold. I mean,
ooh,
supers.
Yeah.
What are those?
That's in World of Balance Nikea after the Serpent Trench, so it looks like
Drinks has already got 4.
Yeah, it looks like Saberwolf also found some Super Balls wherever he is. So multiple shops with Super Balls this seed already.
Yeah, I mean those are gonna really make.
Oh, and they're half off because they're in Figaro Castle with Edgar. Bahamut with Ice 2 on it. I know we have a
Dragon count as. So here's a question about the drafting, because I see like we've got Near Horizon, so that's the 5/8, but then there's also Wide Open Horizon. Are those like both? in effect?
No. So
Or-
near horizon is overrides wide open horizon.
Okay. And then but they did draft Skip.
Yes, so skip is at 18 checks, so that's why I'm keeping track of it, although thank you for reminding me about it, because I haven't been actually tallying it. So yes, 18 checks is our skip. 5 and 8 is for unlocking Kefka. So that's kind of what you see on the tracker here. And I have the dragons on here just to keep track of the scaling, which is relentless scaling, 2.5 levels for each check completed. Enemy and boss HP is 2.5 for each check completed as well. So scaling is based on checks. It's not even based on dragons. So let's get rid of the dragons. We don't really need to worry about them. All right, Jexy looks like he's going to take his super balls and head over to the Opera House dragon in the world of Ruin. I don't think you can trigger the Opera House Oh My Hero scene in the world of Ruin. Ooh, Curse Shield for Saberwolf in the shop there. Wonder if he's going to pick one up. We don't know what the Curse Shield count is, but if we go to the world of Balanced Norsh, we could talk to one of the old guys and he could tell us what it is. Jefe going up against Chad here at Floating Continent number 2. Not a boss you want to see early, with one that counters basically everything with lightning. Although with scaled with random ability scaling. There you go.
Yeah, that'll be interesting towards the end of the game.
Another offering there for Jex so he's got 3. There's 3 potential offerings in this seed. 1 at Figaro Throne, 1 at Gal Manor, and 1 at the Opera House Dragon.
Yeah, very, very generous with the offerings for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be. I was doing the math, and 18 checks equals level 45 bosses.
Okay.
In the tower, and then taking into account too, I don't know what element they're gonna use, so it's like,
well,
you run a poltergeist, and it's like, all right, I got my fire protection, I'm good, and then, oh man, they're like non-elemental, and they're just like, oh, Medio, Ultima, like, I think it'll be hairy at the end, unless
yet another offering that's at Floating Continent number 2. It's actually insane.
This is actually too many.
Yeah, we can't use this
We're gonna see a rare selling of offerings, I think. Well, I have 8 offerings, but I only have an Illumina, which is not what I want, and an Atma weapon. Everyone seems to have one of those.
Well, you can't put offering on your guy twice and make him do 8 hits at 1/4 damage. That's not how this works.
You can't put on 2 Gingy gloves and then equip weapons on your armor and helm.
All right,
that would be
so
pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be really funny. All right, so Jex here, heading into his second dragon. I'm trying to look here in the list of draft options. It doesn't look like there is a reward for killing dragons, just the winning of the Colosseum match. But dragons will drop you a high tier item and give you MP and XP, so why not?
Well, yeah, they do have stronger items on.
Oh, game.
I think it still counts. Was that another offering? I think it still counts.
That's offering number 5.
Oh, is that because they picked Gambler's Spoils? That says checks that reward items will either give you fixed dice.
Yeah. Offering. So those are the higher tier, or the premium dead check set, right? And we got an Inferno fight there at the Tritok spot. And let's see what Jefe finds at the end of the Floating Continent here.
Yeah, it's a pretty spicy Esper. I think it makes sense Jex is pushing dragons because they found those super balls, and they're kind of the most useful exactly like around the level they're at. So I definitely like that play. I like the floating continent. We definitely have some divergence.
Yeah, for sure. Ifrit and
Especially,
Shiva,
I
not a
think-
problem. We learned Ice too, right, pretty early, and we have Throw, and we have Super Balls.
Yeah.
So Mog has Slot, by the way, which is a decent, like, early game ability. Our abilities will be stronger in this seed, and oh my god, are you kidding me? A 6th offering at Tritalk.
Yeah, I think that's all they can get is either fixed dice or offerings.
That's it, yeah.
Anytime.
Where to fix dice at now? And
I know we might have a lot of fixed dice going on, and we'll probably end up summoning a certain community member.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I have never seen this many offerings in one seed. It's good for Gao with Cat Scratch, right? But that's about it. Jefe, meanwhile, gets Gogo at the end of the floating continent, so Gogo was taken out by Calmness as one of the picks, but
He
I
wanted
think
to
most
play.
most of our runners, I think, are going to go get Gogo anyway here.
Yeah, with throw and natural jump, like Gogo is very versatile. The ability set.
Yeah, Throw Go is one of my favorite things to do in the game.
Yeah, plus anyone that went to, because Bahamut was the Esper out of the trench, which is a nice, powerful summon that's also fun to mimic.
All right,
So I think
Jefe
right now-
grabbing Mog. So he's on character 5 and is going to head through the Serpent Trench. So a lot of characters early on and a lot of offerings.
Yeah, I think Jefe and Drinks Glue, I would say, look to be pretty close in terms of, who is in the lead. Jex is harder to say because they've taken a couple of dragons and might have like a little bit of a level advantage. And they're about to do, unfortunate, but they're doing this freebie. They're gonna do the trench, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gao, or whatever the reward is at the Velt, won't come into the party with a formation that's anything other than the normal battle formation, so a side attack means that Jexfrock is going to run away. Jefe heading through the Serpent Trench will get his Esper at the end of it. Glue is still tossing out super balls like they're rice at a wedding here, taking down Ifrit with the one-shot. Will get his Go-Go. 20k GP for that glowing stone from Tzenthe.
Less than one
offering.
offering.
Yeah, it's you can't throw offerings at the enemies. So you might
Yeah, I
as
don't
well.
think Saber has run into the offering train yet. So they're having to do a little bit more thinking. Super Ball. Yeah, they don't have as much stuff. They might have to pass on that for now. Until they find one of the 7 offerings that are available.
Yeah. So Jex has done, I think, a bit more homework before starting out, right? Because he had the dragons plus the Colosseum dip. So he's level 14. Saberwolf's at level 12-ish, it looks like. I didn't quite see what the levels on some of our other runners are. But he also has the plus Vigor. 102 Vigor on Gao with that Hyper Wrist. That is a spicy meatball there. With the Curse Shield battles being between 1 and 8, we do have a ribbon, thankfully. It looks like Jefe's been uncursing a few of them here, as most of our runners are. Unfortunately, we are not going to learn Ultima with this flag set here. Saberwolf giving us some new info, and it is the
A little bit of swerve here.
Ancient Castle.
I like it. Yeah, I imagine Saberwolf, as soon as they get a 4th character, even if they don't find a Peace Ringer ribbon, will throw the Curse Shield on. But I could definitely understand being nervous, especially with 2.5 scaling, about, having a character that's like weak to everything and will die if any magic touches them.
Yeah. It's one of those things where we have both powerful characters, or high-level characters, rather, and high-level enemies, because our enemies have relentless scaling at 2.5, but our party also gets the XP bonus times 4 instead of times 3, so we're going to level up more, as there it is, another offering for Drinks Glue. I do like going down to the ancient castle here, because it counts as more checks than you think they do, because the dragons will count as checks. So Saber Wolf will go down to ancient castle and actually get 3 checks out of this. We don't need another offering, so there's no reason to go dig in the monster in a box. But in order to get the check skip at 18, this is a good play here.
Yeah. Did Saberwolf grab the free throne check, or are they going to do that at the end of these other Edgar checks?
Saberwolf has already gotten the throne.
Okay.
Jefe has not, Jexrock has not, Drinks Glue has, though. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it was yeah. Any dead check in the game, Chad, if you ask, it's just assume it's an offering.
Until we see some dice. We're going to see dice. The probabilities say we should.
Well, you had mentioned that there are Atma weapons somewhere for sale, as that's an Esper on the ground for Glue, so he's going to be in the shiny stone lead at the end of this check here. Senor Behemoth for Saber Wolf. This is a soldier sprite, so this is either a Esper or an offering. Not even going to give the possibility of getting something else other than offering in this seed. Yeah, I think this will be pretty easy going until we get to Kefka's Tower. I think Kefka's Tower is going to be difficult because of that random ability scaling and how high the levels are. And oh my goddess.
Yeah, and they might only have 5 characters potentially.
That's true.
Going into Kefka's Tower.
We are at character go mode.
Yeah, and the checks ahead of Drinks Glue after this, they would either they're doing the ancient castle basement fights, or they could run up and do the Zone Eater, which is a polarizing place. But then there's also like the 3 checks in World of Balance Narsh, and we're approaching like levels where how many Atmas should I have is a consideration, and I think Drinks knows that they're there, as well as has at least 2 offerings just in their inventory. So if I had to guess, I think they're heading for World of Balance Narsh, but I'll be curious to see.
Yeah, what
Looks
else is interesting?
With some half price shopping here.
There you go, that Edgar discount, and we already know that there are some cursed shields for sale somewhere. Interestingly enough, those cursed shields, when you uncurse them, they become the Paladin shields, which are great for an Atma weapon user, because as you may or may not know, Atma weapon does its highest damage when you're at full HP, and Paladin shield basically absorbs 4 elemental magics and will nullify the other 4, so it's the best defensive weapon in the game. Or item in the game, I should say. Can't throw a Paladin shield at somebody. Jexrock is going to be doing his floating continent loop, so he'll come out of here with an Esper, another offering, and a go-go. And we may not see another character, although we're starting to run lowish on checks, right? We have Mog's checks, which is basically, will include Kefka at Narsh in that. And then we have Zone Eater and Ancient Castle. Those are the only checks that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I would say the odds are there's a character in Narsh. But Gogo's a fairly recent character, too. I guess it's like 75-25.
Yeah, Gogo only has the 1 check, Zone Eater. Mog has Moogle Defense, Lone Wolf, and while you're up there, you might as well do Kefka at Narsh. Palador with just Kier 2 on it. That is not a character down in Ancient Castle. It is an Esper, though.
Very nice.
Unfortunate for Saberwolf,
Man.
if that had something good on it. He does have
Magic
magic power
power.
+2. That was from the tentacles fight, so that at least is a decent Esper to throw on Gao or maybe Shadow if he's going to be throwing elemental schemes. But the longer that Saberwolf goes with just 3 characters, the worse off he's going to be here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Because, ideally they were hoping to probably pull a character on this little bit of a swerve going here earlier. But it's like, we know now that it's like everyone's kind of having to choose between here, which is where Drinks ended up going, and going to Narsh.
And it's a Storm Dragon down here for Saberwolf. Let's see what we get from the Dragon Drop. And surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, maybe this is just me. I love having Go-Go when I have someone with throw, but Go-Go's stats certainly leave something to be desired. Although with the +20 strength from the Coliseum, that's an easy way to boost their stat. But Jefe is going with the party without Go-Go. I don't think Drinks Glue has Go-Go in his party either. So no love for Go-Go thus far.
I love a throw go. But again, the offerings, the Atma weapons, there's probably a better option out there.
Yeah, with this seed, with the offense that we have, it's clear to see that you could take, more than one path. The Saberwolf takes down the dragon here.
That was close. I saw at the end of that fight that Gao was confused.
Hey, there's your fixed dice. Dice, baby. Finally.
You can use them. Nobody.
Of course. Of course.
We got our first Paladin shield uncursed on Saberwolf's side.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them floating around. So he's got his setup is Gold Lance on Edgar, Cat Scratch on Gao, Throw on Shadow. That's a pretty good threesome for now. We got one Moogle and one Masquerading Moogle for Drinks Glue, as he's picking up his 4th Esper there. First one of our runners to double-digit checks. And Fitz in chat, we'll have to have a prediction here. Where do you think our 6th character is? It's got to be up in Narsh at one of the Moogle spots, or it's got to be at Zone Eater.
I'm rooting for Zone Eater. I'm cheering for Moogle defense. I guess I'm feeling a little spicy today. Where I think what our runners would love to see them at is like Kefka at Narsh.
Yeah.
And or the Lone Wolf check.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, let's do Cyan at Moogle defense. He's an upstanding citizen, He wants to help save the lowly Moogle.
I'm going to go with We'll go with Locke at Moogle defense.
Oh, a little vanilla action.
Ish.
Yeah,
I see Turdsman in chat is calling the Yeti in the Zone Eater.
Yeti is a perpetual favorite of everybody on stream. Can't argue
I will
with that.
say for there being 5% monsters in a box, or not monsters in a box, 5% encounters in chests. We saw like one early, but our runners are still pretty confidently pulling on chests, so maybe 5% is not high enough for it to truly be called hazardous chests. Although there are some really nasty encounters. Are they unrunnable too, if I remember?
No, they are not unrunnable. Their runnable is still based on whatever the runnable setting is.
Hazardous. It needs to be.
Yeah. Well, let's think about it this way, right? I tend to not open as many chests, I think, as most people, and I'm usually around 50, 60, 70 per seed, right? If you're even at the high end of 70, that is essentially you're going to get 3 or 4 at the worst monster in a boxes in a chest, right? Because 5% would be 5 if you got to 100. So, I mean, I would think hazardous would be something like 10, 15%, right? But
Or the encounters are picked from the martial, like, monster pool. That would be
awful.
the extra hazardous encounter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think upping that number a bit would definitely give more caution for our runners to go dig into chests.
Yeah, it would be cute. There's so many different flags, and the playstyle can be very different where, if we get up, we're talking like 10%, it's like, should I take less chests or should I not try to find a grind fight?
Yeah,
because I'm probably just going to hit one anyway.
Yeah, I usually find when the monster in a boxes and chest number is like high enough, I don't even bother doing grind fights because I'm going to find 1 or 2 fights in a chest anyway. One of the cool things about the Worlds Collide community, you can check us out in the Discord, their link is in the chat, is that we do lots of different weird asynchronous weekly races, and one of them that I host is the draft async. So basically, the first and second place winners of the previous draft can draft the new flags. And this week's draft I think is particularly interesting. The chests are completely empty. We do have a barter shop system, and you start with 100,000 gold. So basically, you could buy 50 items, and then you have to go fight in order to get more ones. So it's kind of interesting. Right, so you can make your Worlds Collide experience radically different depending upon what your flags are. As Saberwolf takes down Goddess with just Gao for another Esper. He's avoiding all of the character checks so far.
Let me ask you this: what flag for you do you feel like is like a personal favorite that might be like underrated, or maybe people don't notice it and don't mess around with it very much?
I really like the equipable Esper's flag. So normally in Worlds Collide, if you can't find like a physical offensive build for your character, or your commands are not that great, you could always go, hey, I'll fall back on Espers because you could basically just teach anybody magic, right? That is not the case with the equipable Esper's flag. It makes you or forces you to have to pick and choose exactly what character you want to learn magic on, and maybe that character, like a realm for instance, if they can't learn all the great spells, then maybe they shouldn't be a magic character. Maybe you're going to have to pivot to something else. So that's one of the flags I really, really like. It's not one we see very often though, because it's out of the standard. And I'm gonna switch over to Jexverox's audio for a second here for the opera, because of course we are.
Yeah, the quiet Josh, I see you just joined the Discord. We do have an Oh My Hero emote in there. It's one of my favorite ones, I think.
So that was one that I had to upload because somebody did something really nice for me. And I was like, hey, I need to express a thanks other than a dab. Because, I mean, dab is universal for lots of different things. Drinksglue, meanwhile, heading into the Coliseum to get the plus 20 vigor. I think Golden Shocker pointed out in the chat that there's an experience egg in here somewhere. So we did not see that with Jexverox. We just saw a bunch of garbage, quite frankly, as now a couple of our other runners have gone and done the Ancient Castle Dragon to get that fixed dice to go with the 6, yes chat, 6 offerings we have seen thus far this seed.
Yeah, and Chad, if you look under your chair right now, I think you'll find that we put an offering there for you.
Oh boy. So to recap here, we are doing a draft race. Our runners have to get 5 characters and 8 Espers to unlock Kefka, 18 checks to get to the Kefka Tower skip. The scaling is higher than normal, but so is our rewards, right? So we're going to get more XP and MP and GP than normal. We get a Illumina by completing this Opera House scene here from Jexverox. That's why he's doing it. The enemies have random ability scaling, so I believe that's going to start becoming a problem for our runners very soon. Because random ability scaling means we'll get wild and crazy bosses doing insane sort of things here. We do have 5% of chests resulting in a monster in a box. So we've seen a couple of random fights there. Nothing crazy, though. What else have we got here? We've got... Espers are tiered, similar to Ultra Sleek settings. 1 through 8 for our Curse Shield battles, and we've also seen them for sale in shops at places. And we have Shadow with Throw, Gal with Rage with Cat Scratch. We have Edgar with Natural Jump, and there is Celeste at the Moogle Defense, so that's our 6th character.
Mm.
So we got the location right. We got the character wrong.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I might go Magitech 1, 2, and then do the basement, or do the basement and vice versa as where I go and drinks glue. I would also say my flag I would like to advocate for more is B dash.
Yeah.
The movement speed options. I've been both playing some Final Fantasy V Career Day rando, and it's got the dash mechanic. And then also when I've been tinkering with like a supermarket sweep flag where the chests are empty, the shops are free, but not very good. It's been picked over. But I turned B dash on because it was like, well, everyone's sprinting around on supermarket sweep the show all the time, so
Yeah, of course.
you
gotta crash into the meat section somehow.
It's hard to constantly move with B dash. There is a lot more bonking.
For sure.
But it makes looting a little bit more, like it changes the calculation there, because it's like, well, if I can move at double speed, what's really out of the way anymore? Or I don't have a warp stone, but I can get out of Mount Zozo pretty fast anyway.
Yeah, Zone Eater Chancellors become much less of a problem. As Jefe finds the Oh My Goddess, which is what Jexrock will stumble into in just a second here. And I think it's fair to say, Fitz, not just in terms of progression, but Drinks Glue finding that 6th character, I think he's got an advantage over our other runners here.
Yeah, I would say so too. Got that dice offering online. I believe Edgar is rocking an Atma offering, maybe 2.
I don't know if we found Genji Glove yet. I know that a couple of our runners have put the Atma weapon into the hands of Edgar.
And then we know that there's been some uncursing of shields because they were available for half price in South Figaro World of Ruin. So this seed really, it's given generously. We've seen Inferno, we've seen Goddess, but there are plenty of bad bosses at high random elements.
Why are you saying this?
Because that to one to me is, I feel like the phase shifts, I can always count on Jax to really spice up a draft, and I tend to play the opposite role, and I'm trying to like nice it up, and I see there was some of that going on.
Oh yeah.
In the draft today.
Yeah.
And so I can always count on him to pull up some, like, I'm surprised Normalize and Distort didn't get put on the table. It might not have came up, and that's why it's not.
You can only pick what comes up, unfortunately.
Not being able to predict what element attacks that bosses are going to use in Kefka's Tower is going to be fun. I mean, we got the Paladin shield, so it kind of doesn't matter as much for at least Edgar, but
yeah. Well, remember that a random element can be non-elemental. Try and wrap your mind around that.
The worst. So it's like, if you love to see bosses cast like Meteor, Meteo, and Ultima on party members, like, stay tuned, because we're probably going to see it in the next 25, 30 minutes.
No, Lone Wolf, we do not need yet another offering.
Maybe.
That's number 7 for those that are keeping
Well,
track.
you gotta have
Oh.
your having offerings that you put up on the shelf and you look at, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool scroll. Because I'm pretty sure that's what that relic actually is supposed to be, right? Is like
I think in later editions it's called the
it's the
Master
secret
Scroll.
technique that allows you to attack very quickly.
Yeah, I think in later editions of this game it's called the Master Scroll. So that makes sense. All right.
And, you know, that's some fancy art to put up on your mantle.
There you go. Make sure you put it in a nice frame. All right, so Jefe heading up to World of Ruin here is going to be heavily disappointed at both the dragon fight and the Tritok fight being offerings again. Drinks Glue grabbing a piece of calmness protection from Lone Wolf. That's Golem, so that's really good for him. And he's going to go fight this Kefka Narsh with, that looks like the Ice King Kefka there down at the bottom with that palette swap.
Yeah, and we do have multi-summon on as part of the draft, so that Golem is super useful. Yeah, part of Bespoke Espers at the end says.
Oh, interesting.
Espers can be summoned multiple times per battle.
Well, that's nice, because that basically means that we can use Golem on Tier 1 for all of their physical attacks, on Tier 2 for 10 hits, and then on Tier 3 for Calmness.
Yeah, for having starting to have a power overwhelming sort of setup, multi-summons of Fenrir or Golem will make dealing with that a lot easier. I'd probably teach somebody Float if I had it too, just because I think that Kefka's gonna get melted pretty fast, which is fun, but also scary.
Well, I mean, I haven't been paying very close attention to the spells that we've been learning, but I don't think I've seen Instant Death or Mute anywhere, so that will certainly slow our runners down just a little bit. As Jefe gets one of the 7, yes, count them 7 offerings that we have had so far in the seed.
It's a very magical number of offerings.
Yeah.
I think you can summon the offering dragon at this point. And then you get the super offering. That's what gets you the 8 attacks.
Is that how we bring back Leo? We need to get to 7 offerings?
Oh, yeah. You get Leo with double... What would it be called?
If you equip an offering in the relic slot of all your party members...
It comes with Octo Fight and
you get
Shock,
Leo.
of course. And he can cast Ultima with 1 MP.
You know what I would like to do, and this would obviously be not like very much in the spirit of keeping Worlds Collide as vanilla as possible, but you know those relics that grant you like those really like not so great abilities, turning steel into capture and slots into GP rain? I want to redo some of those relics so that you can actually get like possess and shock. I think that would be interesting to use up a relic slot to get one of those commands on your character.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I could also see like if coin toss had some sort of bonus effect on like someone that already had GP rain, or it'd be like turn slot into GP rain, and like 50% more damage to GP rain or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I know GP Rain is pretty big in one of the other games, right?
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy V. As long as you have the money, it's kind of a fairly easy button. It doesn't ignore magic defense, so there are situations
right
where it's not good. And Final Fantasy V has a lot of annoying bosses where if you hit the wrong part, terrible things happen. Or there's one that like 3 of them are illusions and one's the real one. My least favorite boss mechanic. And there's no tell, right? It's just like
oops, you guessed
Jet
wrong.
Prime has and Son of Sun. There's still like hit the right part or else boss. We don't really have that. I'm glad.
Yeah, well, with Son of Sun, at least you could tell which is the right one, right?
Interesting.
There's like a tell for it. All right, Drinks Glue is our first runner into Kefka's Tower at 16 checks. So I think their strategy is, as they've overloaded the middle party, let's take out Atma Weapon and let's take out the Dragon to get to 18 and then skip into the middle there. 19,000 GP in World of Ruin for Didnt Thief, so it's not much cheaper in the World of Ruin than the World of Balance, but it is cheaper, so Jefe will be getting another shiny stone here.
Yeah, price is fairly stable in the apocalypse this time.
No inflation after the end of the world there.
Yeah, we got Fun Baba. I've started to think about this. There's the legendary, dragons of Final Fantasy VI. Well, I believe that there's also to be considered the legendary chickens, and there's one of each element. You've got ice chicken, that's Tritok, of course. You've got fire chicken, poltergeist. I believe Funbaba, looking at the legs, they're giving me chicken. And so right now I've got Funbaba penciled in as the lightning chicken.
Yeah, I think honestly,
Chicken Lip, who is Earth Chicken, because if you ever want to have a bad time, sketch a chicken lip and see what happens.
Oh boy.
All right, it sounds like Saberwolf and Drinks Glue are in a chat together. So, in lieu of giving you their audio, we're going to go back to Jefe's audio here. I did not see what the reward was at Atma Weapons.
Offering.
Was it really? Are you kidding me? That's number 8.
Like, in theory, they should have a couple more pairs of fixed dice. It should be more of
it's definitely not balanced. Definitely not balanced. But if Fun Baba is your lightning chicken, I am never going over to your house for chicken thighs or chicken legs, because I will leave very hungry.
Yeah, he doesn't have. That's where it's like there's not meat on those legs because they're like chicken legs, right? They're like more of a hard talon type situation. Anyway, we're getting our first peek at Zone Eater here. I'll be curious.
Yeah, because so we believe that the way through the seed is with Celeste at Moogle Defense, but we'll see what Saberwolf gives to us. And Jefe will actually be in go mode before he gets to Celeste here with Lone Wolf and then Kefka at Narsh. So it'll be interesting to see if he decides to do Moogle Defense, because he is at 14 checks, so he would be at 17 if he does Moogle Defense, or 16 without it. So
I think it's also interesting because none of the draft choices modified the chest randomness %, right? And they've been finding some, like, they've got a lot of elemental shields. They've got a lot of, I would say, good stuff. This seed has just been like, here you go. Go fast. Have fun.
Hey, there's some fixed dice. And that is Kefka Tower Skip Unlock. There for Drinks Glue.
Yep, so the good news, skipping the whole walk with our scaling, level 45 bosses. This is where it could be fun.
All right, so not Kefka's Tower, Zone Eater rather, was Alexander. So our way through this seed was Moogle Defense, after knowing everything that we know now. And unfortunately, we haven't gotten any of Celeste's checks. So we don't know how the seed branched off from there, but unfortunately, a pretty linear one here for our runners.
Yeah, it's pretty much had to get Mog. Have to do Moogle Defense. Although there's probably, I don't know, there might be enough loose espers.
Yeah, I think if you went to Zone Eater, right, like Jefe will get to 8 before he gets Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he did Didnt Thief and did not do Zone Eater. So between Didnt Thief and all the other ones, we definitely could have gotten it. All right, taking a look at our espers there on Drinks Glue. We have Raiden, so that's one source of instant death.
Mm-hmm.
We have Golem, there's our Calmness Protection. We have Palador, that's our way around Fallen One, because I don't think we've seen a Mega Elixir yet.
No. Healing spells are available, but Cure 2 is the best one. A lot of haste too.
All right, so we got Rexol here.
Not great for our offering user.
What is he gonna do here?
He's thinking.
Oh, fixed dice offering.
Awesome anyway.
Not what you want to do against Rexol. So this fight's gonna take a while, unfortunately, for Drinks Glue, because he only had Fire and Quake, and Fire will heal the boss, and Quake will kill your party. So. And
yeah, we
Saberwolf without Mog, unfortunate that he's up at Kefka and Arsh here.
Doing the 3. Well, I guess he does need Mog. I was like, he might not get Mog, but I was like, no, he has to get Mog.
Yep. Yeah. Where the heck was Mog? Was he Velt? No.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Velt. Anyway, go give our runners a follow. They're the ones that are actually putting on the show. Fitz and I are just BSing, basically. So yeah, go give them a follow. They're the ones that are actually making stuff happen. I'm just pushing all the buttons behind the scenes, and it looks like Jefe is going to not do Moogle defense and instead is going to go get his 18 check skip through the Opera House dragon and then a different dragon inside of Kefka's Tower. Celeste is the reward for Jexvarok there at the Moogle defense. Saberwolf gets COVID sneezed away there from Chupon, picking up Seraphim for his 7th Esper, and he has got to go to the Velt in order to get Mog in order to finish up this seed. Second boss here for Drinkslu and Kefka's Tower. We have random ability scaling. That's why you see opening Quake from Blue Dragon. Wow.
Ew. That's not water.
Thankfully, Gao is still floating from his previous rage, and we have a couple of Paladin shields, but Edgar did not survive that opening Quake. So yeah, that's the spiciness of random ability scaling, folks. It's going to start to get very interesting right around now.
Yeah, even this Ultros, they've been hit for about 14,000 damage, and they just went into their, second half of their script. So far, Rexol was bad because of all of the offering offense that's flying around. So that's like a slow, but not necessarily like high wipe chance. The Ultros fight, that was pretty tame. So far, nothing too crazy, but got this middle path. We've got a offering Atma, Edgar. I think Gao is either raging or casting at this point.
Yeah, and here's the unfortunate thing for Jefe, not finding Celeste at Moogle defense is going to have to go fight this toilet Atma spot with just 3 of his 4 party members, and he's going to have to send a solo person up one party, and that is a Cyclonic from Welk.
That's bad.
Welk giving Drinks Glue the business here with that elemental ability scaling.
Yeah, that's that untargetable offense. I mean, Gao hitting the right part. Good job, Gao. Hero there.
Hero Gao. But you know who else is a hero, Fitz? Obi of Legend for raiding. Thank you, Obi, for the raid. Settle on in, viewers. We're nearing the end of the seed, as Drinks Glue has one more boss to fight before getting to the big bad himself. Meanwhile, Saberwolf is finally getting his Mog, so he will be on his way to go mode.
Yeah, and Jefe is one lightning chicken away from getting their skip. And we've got Ice Chicken. This is not going to be a problem.
Well, it depends.
Well, okay. Well, it could always be a problem.
Okay, we've got Atma Weapon and we've got Fire Magic, so I think we're alright.
What element is Tritok today? They're the nothing element. They're truly chilling.
Yep. It's going to take him a while to rasp Gao to death. And I don't even think that's a problem because he's not raged or anything. Cyclonic counterattack from Funbaba. Jeez. Alright, and Jex just needs one Esper to go, so he is heading into the Magitech facility. We did see the South Figaro prisoner spot was also an Esper, so he's got a chance here at one of the first two parts of the Magitech factory that are Esper item only.
Or he might get some more offerings.
Or that, yes. So in case you did miss the beginning of the race, as Glue steps on the switches at about an hour in, we will be uploading this race to YouTube at some point in the future. So make sure you follow our YouTube channel for races and other sorts of videos and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I saw Nightbot posted the Discord there recently too. We've got our beginner's house in there. A lot of helpful people that will help you get started. Or
all right, chat. Well, Drinks Glue is heading up to Final Kafka. How long do we think this
time.
battle is going to last? I am going to go with 8 minutes 49 for my prediction of how long he will take in this battle. Fitz, you have a prediction here?
I'm gonna go with 7 minutes 59 seconds.
All right. 101.26 is when the battle starts. Get your guesses in chat here. We know we have access to Raiden, which is instant death. We have some Golem for calmness protection. However, I don't think we have a way to deal with magic on tier 2, which could be a problem.
Yeah, we don't have mute. We can multi-summon both our instant death and Golem, so we don't have to worry about...
Ooh.
Here we go.
Yeah, here's the problem with non-targetable offense, though, is that we may be eating... Well, it may not be a Quake. It might be something else. So,
Do Kefka's parts get random?
Oh, no, they don't, since they're not scaled. You're absolutely
Okay.
correct. So they're
that would be absolutely buck wild.
Yep. Meanwhile, Jexvarok heading into Kefka's tower here. Looks like they are going to be doing a normal split of the party. I think they're at 16 checks, though. Same thing with Saberwolf. He's heading into Kefka's tower at only 14 checks, though I don't think he's going to be going for skip. Oh, Jexvarok already has skip. Okay, never mind. I was off in my counting. So we got a race for second place here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, 5-character KT is a little bit rough. I feel like there was one
to solo somebody
where it was like 3 characters was the unlock, and that is the solo fights are never good, but especially as our runners don't know, what they're gonna run into. We know that there was nothing like too nasty, or what? Tritalk never got to go.
Yeah.
So they might be bad, and Rexel also didn't really act, because Drinks got real lucky with those rolls going to the right place of high value.
Yep. All right, Jefe noticed that his Edgar is on level 40. Smart play by taking off the Mogul Charm here to get off of level 40, because if he gets Doom Gaze, then he's going to be set back a little bit. So we know that it's not Doom Gaze, but he doesn't know it's not Doom Gaze. It's actually Ultros, and Jexvarok takes care of him handily. This fight's not going to yield any XP, so that's unfortunate for him. And Glue having a bit of a trouble here with Tier 1.
Yeah, I see they recovered and got their Edgar back up.
Yeah, well, there's now one part of the boss left. Sometimes when you're in a fight, it is... You might think it might be better to get your characters healed up immediately, but you also waste a turn, and the other enemy will be able to still damage your characters. So sometimes it's better to just kill 1 or 2 parts of the boss and then heal up afterwards. So that's, I think, what Glue went for there.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see a golem cast. I wonder if all of our runners saw that last bit of words about the Esper flag, because this part really just punches, especially when short arm is, or that arm is the only one that's left.
Yeah.
Because it has a, what, like 50% chance to counter an attack with a punch.
Yeah.
And they are hard punches.
Physical offense is all that Tier 1 does, basically, aside from a couple of other things. Meanwhile, Jexvarok taking a Marsupial to the face with Wombat from Welk.
Ooh, and
the
then
shell
a
countered with a Windy Wind. Oh no.
I was like, Ninja Star. The shell's throwing Ninja Stars. Get out of there.
Alright, well, now that we... Oh no, Gawa's Rage with Cat Scratch.
Hard.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here comes a Meteo counter from the shell. No! No!
The shell is definitely non-elemental, I feel like, based on what it's guessing.
That is... You hate to see that happen. Alright, recover the party here, and Jefe has got to go up against Welk. Thankfully, he has Shadow on that side. Meanwhile, Saberwolf giving us the spicy chicken from the Inferno spot.
No,
we did not see this before.
He's non-elemental.
And it's a solo Edgar against a Meteor and a Lodestone. Wow.
Yeah, this is not good. Saberwolf is at a much lower level coming in here as well. Because I want to say they're in the low 30s. Yeah, Welk is tired of getting beat up easily at the beginning of Vanilla, and they have come to hurt today.
Yeah, they're not playing around.
Yeah, fortunately, Drinks never saw what the shell can do.
Drinksgloof struggling here on Tier 2 as well, so I think most of our predictions chat, he's going to have to hurry up. And this is why I predicted a bit of a longer fight, because we have no access to mute, and magic is just a pain in the neck. Absolute awful.
Yeah, the constant AoE and muddling people.
Yeah, Mog is now stopped, and I believe Mog is one of the better characters on Drinksgloof's party here.
Yeah, that's our dicer.
Jefe getting past the Welk, which has so far shown to be the hardest boss in the game. That is not the spicy chicken here. So if you're Saberwolf, you know that the spicy chicken is here. Do you just reset, warp out, and come back in with your full party to kill it here? Oh no, Grand Train from Tritalk. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. Punching it. Just punching Tritalk. That's not going to get the job done.
No.
Fire schemes, well.
Yeah, look at
to answer your question, I think because Edgar was only doing 1,000 damage in Ultima Swing. Now I'm resetting for sure.
Oh, with the stop and blaster, yeah. Alright, Jefe's Shadow just doing pure damage with that fire scheme, much more than Gogo is, and that's how he's able to leapfrog ahead of Jexvarok here. Meanwhile, I think this finally might be the end for Magic on Tier 2 for Drinksglue.
Order, dispel, yeah.
There it is, the end of Tier 2, heading up to Tier 3. He started this fight at 101.26. He is now 7.5 minutes in and has only done the first 2 tiers. So, unless he speeds up real fast, I think we're all going to be wrong in this instance here. Oh, he's...
Yeah, Kefka can always...
Saberwolf's going right back at it again here.
Yeah, let's see how they've changed their approach here. Blocking the stop. Oh, they're cracking
No messing around.
all the shields. A level 45 Poltergeist is going to have 30k plus. Oh, Grand Train. Can't even survive one.
No. Yeah, you need to bring...
Saber's not as scaled as high, so this would only be level 40 Poltergeist. But
look
still.
at Mog pulling out the quad 9s on the fixed dice roll there for Jefe.
We've got dueling Rex Souls.
Yeah, the problem with sending one character into this fight is that anything that Poltergeist will throw at you won't be reduced by half because you have a single target. So Grand Train will kill you basically in one shot. A lot of these things, I mean, Landslide is single target anyway, but a lot of these AoE spells that Poltergeist is using, if you have more than one person up, they get split in half with split damage. Right? So, if I'm Saberwolf, I'm just eating the time.
I would warp out and like...
He needs some dragons. You're absolutely right. He's at level 30 and Lee's at level 30. 30 is not going to cut it here. Meanwhile, Drinks Glue handily takes down tier 3. That's much better. That's the power of Golem, folks. And he's now at Final Kefka. So we'll see what he decides to do here. As Jefe is our second person on our switches. Jexvarok will be our third as soon as he defeats the menu boss. And we got a tight race for second place here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to, I would say, one, does either Jefe or Jex recall that they can multi-summon Espers? Because that would have saved Drink some trouble in the beginning. And I bet when we pop him in for the interview and I'm like, hey, did you know you can multi-summon? He's going to be like, oh.
Yep, because I didn't know either. I was like, really? And then, I took a look at it.
We're going for Blue Dragon, which we know is a Quake Dragon, actually.
This time it was a Wump Dragon. Go-Go got hit in the face with that. All right.
And Wump is where it's one of the ones where like a critter runs across the ground and then like punches you in the face, right?
That's right. Yep. It doesn't work on floating targets, as we do see Jefe casting his Raiden, and he's also casting Bahamut, so I'm pretty sure that he knows. He knows that we can multi-summon, because here comes Golem as well.
Oh, we got Goner charging already.
Out come the shields.
Crack him. Swinging. This is probably it.
And yes, there is the boom, the flash, the crack, the pow. 112.37 for Drinks Glue. He is your draft race winner. Get your GGs in chat.
Oh, we got a raid from Gar.
And thank you, Gar, for the raid. Just in time to see the end of the race there. And I put the timer on the wrong person. Here we go.
112. So they ended up with a little over 10-minute climb.
Yep. So it was 10. It was 11 minutes and 11 seconds. 11:11. Make a wish, Drinks Glue. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I had some Chick-fil-A for breakfast, and Chick-fil-A breakfast is very underrated. If you didn't know.
That's not something I said I could say I've ever done, but I'll take.
Well, you're from up north, so it's a southern thing. Jefe will know.
That is true. That is true. Me being a New Yorker, I don't get Chick-fil-A all that often.
We have like a couple in Michigan, I think.
So,
but
Glue,
anyway,
tell us about your approach to this seed. 5 and 8 unlock, 18 check skip, starting with throw and rage with a catch scratch and a jumping Edgar. What was your idea behind this seed?
I was really hoping Gal could wear the fixed dice with the cat scratch, but he couldn't. So that kind of threw a wrench into everything at the 30-minute mark when I finally found fixed dice. But that was okay, because throw is obviously very broken. Leonardin are the two landslide rages. Those are also very broken. I don't know if you noticed or not at the beginning, but I found Atmos for sale but I had
Yep.
found an Atma, and I had sold it for more Super Balls, and I sold with the flags. It was either fixed dice or offerings from all dead checks.
Yeah.
I sold like 3 offerings. Like,
seven offerings we counted
Yeah.
between everything this season. This.
so I sold offerings to pay for everything early, because I'm gonna get more later. And yeah, I think it was. I did like that little wrinkle though, because it made it easy to get going. Because normally you wouldn't sell an offering, because then you're an idiot.
Right.
So it was a nice little creative wrinkle, which I enjoyed. I do want to say that Zetzer's Gambit should be renamed to Boo's Nightmare for that flag. I've already PM Double Down about it, so hopefully we'll get that fix
Very nice.
implemented, because that is a glitch.
Yep.
So yeah, Drinks Glue, did you recall that Espers had multi-summon on as part of the draft flags?
I did on tier 2.
Just one tier too late.
Yeah, but it was fine. I actually, if there was one point when I realized Gal couldn't wear the fixed dice, and I was like, well, I have Setzer with an Atma weapon. I almost thought about going and get more Gaia Gears and just casting Quake a bunch of times. Because I didn't really find any armor, so it wouldn't have mattered. Not like I was taking off of Minerva. Overall, that's why I like drafts, because you end up in really weird scenarios, and then it's just funner to do something different every once in a while.
Funner is a word that you could use to describe the draft. Yeah.
Yes. It is more funner.
What was your draft strategy going into this? Did you have an idea of what type of picks you were going to be looking for? Or were you just trying to make it as miserable as possible for everybody?
We had, if you go look at the name of the channel for the status for Voice Chat 1, that is half of my strategy. The other
picks.
the other strategy was just to pick some of the new cards. Because originally I had picked, I was really hoping for the Cutting Edge Spoils card. That one's fun because it's Atma Weapon, Valiant Knife, Ragnarok on Lumina only for dead checks. And then Jefe had selected the Setter's Gambit, which the fixed dice and offerings, and then somebody had picked the Tellas one where it blocks all of the really good spells.
Yeah, that was Saber Wolf, but that was overrode by the tiered Esper one.
Oh no, because there was no tier 3 spells. Maybe I just happened to find them, but I thought it was still in play.
Actually, that's so funny. I didn't even see that checks that reward items will only reward fixed dice and offering. I completely skipped that. So now it makes more sense why we found basically 7 offerings.
But
wow, I didn't even see that. I'm sorry.
But one, my strategies can be broken up into 2 points. One, don't let Jaxrox hijack everything. Calmness his stuff. Keep it under control.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then 2, showcase the new cards. The new cards are fun.
Yeah, that the fixed dice offering card is just awful.
Again, we'll get it renamed Boo's Nightmare.
Oh man.
Did you notice at all any impact from the phase shift card having like the random elements coming out of enemies and bosses? I
knew with aggressive scaling that somebody had picked that with checks being 2.5 and that it meant that every time like I think scaling was at 47, 48 when I went to the tower for myself. Well, it's at 45 if you have 45ish if you have 18 checks for skip. So it meant that at any point in time I could load up a boss screen and immediately die. So I tried to save more than often, because typically if that was just regular ultra sleek scaling, that's super powerful. You're super powerful and shouldn't really be afraid of anything. But as you saw, I think Welk did a non-animal attack that if
yeah, we saw a Meteo out of them on after a white wind or a weird wind.
It meant you can the piranha could go down, Rizzo Pass could show up, and you can easily eat a flare or something and die in a 1v1 fight, or you were always in danger. So
yeah, definitely.
That's the thing to remember about Face Ship, in my opinion, is you were always at a threat of being surprised.
We also saw Poltergeist at the Inferno spot because Saber Wolf went in without the skip at first, and they were grand training it up a lot.
Poltergeist is scary no matter what.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And then I definitely had a moment of like, oh no, is Kefka randomly elemental too? Because that would be wild. But since they're not part of the scaling, I quickly remembered that. No, it'll just be normal. Although I'll say for you, Kefka was being spicy today a little bit.
Tier 2 could have got out of hand because I didn't have mute. And then 10 hits was doing 400 to 500 a turn. And then tier 1 as well, because he took down Edgar right away. And I was like, well, I'll just let Edgar sleep this one off for a little bit. There's no point in reviving him over and over and over again. And then he had to back row and have him defend so he didn't go down with the possible counterattack to end it. But that's just what happens when you when all of your dead checks are not going to be armor. So you typically you could find, if you find 7 offerings, in a normal run, half of that's going to be, a cat hood or a behemoth suit or a force armor that will help you with that. And you bank on that a lot more than you realize, I think. So I kind of always knew that was going to be a dicey situation. So that's why I bought 2 Gaia gears early. And I think gold helm. I think I bought a gold shield just because too as well.
Yeah, it looks like Jax is about, 60 to 90 seconds ahead right now of Jefe for second place.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one.
Rolling some dice. I know in my mentor session yesterday, we were leaning heavily on fixed dice offering, and they absolutely let us down on tier 4.
I mean, that's the thing with fixed dice offering, right? It's feast or famine sometimes.
Fixed dice offering, though, especially Genji Glove fixed dice offering, is really broken on tier 3 because you can let his ATB fill and then hit him, or you can let his ATB fill in the course of the rolls, and then he won't glitch counter you if you don't kill him. So that's one of the spots where the longer animation comes into play.
Yeah, we didn't really see good AoE healing at any point, so Fallen 1 a little bit scarier than normal. GG's to Jax, who's coming into the booth.
GG's indeed.
GG's.
121.49 was the final time, so excellent job, Jex, on getting that one done. What was sort of your strategy with this set of options that got drafted here?
Really, it was just roll with the punches. I mean, like, once I saw Gao had the cat scratch rage, I'm like, okay, game on. Especially picking up that early scimitar, that also made life a little bit easier because it's got really high battle power. Cat scratch carried the seed, hands down. And then I also remembered that multi-summon was on. So once I found Bahamut, I'm just like, ooh, this seed just got even easier.
All right, Jefe sliding into third place here, just getting that crack pal, finishing 123.35. Get your GGs in chat for Jefe. Nice job from him. And
Yeah,
Saber
very
Wolf
nice.
is now getting into the tower after skipping over the Poltergeist spot, which is a strategy. You don't want to fight the spicy chicken if you don't have to, right?
Yeah, 100%. So I did want to ask Jax, because you have somewhat of a reputation of picking challenging flags, that Drake shared that their draft approach was going to be to undo all of your stuff as much as possible.
Yeah, I am not surprised about that.
But you have a lot of picks, and you still manage to get the higher scaling, the random elements, even though your feeble characters and go-go start ended up getting overruled.
The Go-Go start wouldn't have been bad.
That would have been nice,
Especially-
actually.
well, actually, if we kept Go-Go, we would have lost Shadow.
Oh, that would have been terrible.
Yeah. But it really, end of the day, didn't matter too much. I still found Go-Go, and, I used him with Cat Scratch. Well, no, I didn't even get a chance to because the two boss fights that I had were complete trash on the center path. But in regards to, the card picks and all that, today I just wanted to do picks to mess with people. That's what I wanted to do. And I knew they couldn't just calmness everything, because it doesn't show up every time.
Well, there you go. We've got two different draft approaches. One of them picks to mess with people, the other countering the picks to mess with people, but also trying to pick the brand new shiny flags to show them off. As long as you get a good balance, if everyone that's drafting is in kind of one school of thought, that's when you end up with really some wild, wacky drafts.
On the plus side, at least we did not end up with empty shops like we did last night. That was
Thank
something.
God.
Those empty shops really messed with everything. But even then, that was mute. It would have been nice to get earrings or hero rings. But, Terra's magic power from last night was so high that M-Tech was just beautiful. But as for this seed, there's plenty of workarounds to any of the challenges that were sitting around. I was a little sad Gao cannot use the fixed dice on this one, but it is what it is. Because I would have totally done fixed dice cat scratch.
What did your Gao have equipped? Cat scratch.
Scimitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly good combo, especially if you're doing grind fights. Getting the slice on. Even on Final Kefka, it comes up on tier 1 and 2.
All right, looks we got Saber Wolf here heading into their own Final Kefka, only rocking the 5 characters.
Yeah, one of our only runners that did not find Celeste
Didn't find his favor.
along with Jefe.
Ooh.
So, what flag jacks do you think impacted this seed the most? It could be one or it could be maybe two.
Sure. I have to look at those picks to see which one hit the hardest.
Yeah, I didn't think Hazardous Chess only played a small role in the early game, but I think the fights you guys got from them weren't that big of a deal.
I only found one chest with a fight in it.
There was a couple, I think, in World of Ruin South Figaro.
Okay. No, I looted World of Ruin South Figaro. I don't remember hitting anything.
The one between the item and the armor and weapon shop, the barrel, that was a fossil thing.
That's right. I forgot about that one because I just revified and walked away.
That was it, yeah.
And then the first one was Aloe Vera in the in Darsh Weapon Shop or Treasure House.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we saw a flan.
Delicious flan.
Let me see. Of all the flags, let's see. Relentless Scaling actually played a pretty big role in some of my early routing.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't take a lot of free checks.
Exactly, because right out of the gate, all enemies, bosses included, are sitting at level 1.
Right, unless you do a check and then you get bumped up, right? So.
And that's why my first check was a dragon fight.
That made sense.
Yep, get an offering or fixed dice, and a high tier item, and a pile of EXP, and move on to the next one.
I completely, this is for Schwantz from an hour and a half ago. I completely missed the card that was you can only get fixed dice or offering. I glossed right over it. So I was having a fit in the booth when we were getting offering like every single time.
Yeah, I only found one fixed dice. I was a little sad.
I think there was 2 that we saw, and that's it.
But
yeah, one was the toilet at Ma, and then the other one was down in the ancient castle for me.
Yep, I got down in the ancient castle. I got that one. But actually, fixed dice did come up for me in one fight and one fight only, and that was Rex Soul. When I realized Bahamut is just going to be a waste of time because I'm going to just mac around the underlings. So let's switch over to physical damage and throw the dice, and it came up with 8k on one throw.
Well, one of the other bosses, I believe, gave you some issues, and that was one that you normally don't think of, and that was Welk. He was kind of bullying you a little bit there.
And Tritok.
Yes, Tritok too.
That was when I put the comment in the Discord. I learned something today. No, Cat Scratch was useless against him.
Oh yeah.
That was the lesson I learned.
Yep. Unless you have a defense ignoring item. Or weapon, rather. Yep.
Yep. I did not realize Cat Scratch did not ignore defense.
No, it just takes on the damage of whatever weapon you're currently using. So there you go. You learn something new every time you watch a Worlds Collide seed. I'm convinced of it.
As for Welk, I hate Welk. That is like every single time I see that stupid thing in KT, it brings back nightmares.
Yeah.
From when I raced Drulith.
Yep. The Welk giving you the business. Don't hit the shell.
Oh, it was what was it? The
Cat Scratch.
It wasn't even so much the Drulith nightmare. Was I was ahead of him for like the entire seed. I run into Welk with a solo Cyan, and he gets slimed, and it just turned a fight into this slog.
A groove fest.
And it caused me to lose.
Yep.
So the fail snail, yeah, I don't like him.
I like that, the fail snail. You got any other questions, Fitz, for our runners here?
I don't think so. I've just been following along. It looks like Saber Wolf's wrapping up their tier 2 here, heading into tier 3.
He should just about be done with this one.
Yeah, we'll put the flags here somewhere. There we go. You could probably not even read it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, yeah, you guys got any other final thoughts? Drinks glue?
Just to reiterate, Chick-fil-A breakfast is underrated. And 2, we will probably be doing another draft tonight if anybody would like to join us.
Well, I will be at a Christmas party, so you guys can have fun with that.
Oh, nice.
Dex Rock, you got any other final thoughts? Things you want to say?
Why, of course I do. Anybody here that is new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, please come join our Discord at ff6worldscollide.com. The WC is outdated. Aside from that, please give our Restream team and runners a follow. And come join us in our Discord. We got a lovely community. Would love to have you. Also, GG's, and thanks for tuning in.
I do want to plug one other thing.
Okay.
I guess this Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, the big dog himself, Peril, will be hosting a Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Year in Review show. He will have a lot of special guests, some awards to give out, and some big announcements. If y'all would like to tune in, Tuesday the 26th, 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. It's sort of like a year in review stream. I am working on a clip compilation, which there are some really there are some things that'll make you go bump in the night, and there's some really funny tidbits in there as well. I'm not going to spoil a lot of it, but I've had to do some audio editing of some of the clips to remove some of the choice language, and I decided to have some artistic license as to what I replaced that the language with. So should be funny.
Nice.
That alone will be.
Did you replace the choice language with the chocobo mark?
No, but I'm not done editing yet, and that is a good idea.
I was thinking
there might be a Kafka laugh or two in there. You know, tell Doomgaze to go rah, rah, yourself. You know, always fun. All right, so Saber Wolf has got the fallen one here, and I think he'll be fine. The only, worry is when you have Gao with rage, it can.
All right, we got the Goner charge.
So we'll see how he handles it. Thank you guys, Drinkskoo and Jexrock, for agreeing to participate in the race this morning. Thanks for running it. Can't have the races without the runners, so appreciate you guys. And same goes to Jefe, so thank him for running as well. And
you bet.
We'll see Saber Wolf cleanse this one out here. A couple of shield throws. A couple of his characters finna die here. Oh, but he gets the cat scratch.
Bam.
I think this will do it here. Boom, shakalaka. There it is.
Crack pow. Clown dust. Commence.
37:25 is his official time. Get your GGs in chat
Rock's
for him.
Picks Club.
Yeah, some great
How
perseverance, showing off that sometimes you run into a wall and you gotta rethink your plan. And
good
Saber
job.
Wolf has joined us in the
GGs.
booth. GGs.
Nice kill.
run into a
I had a panic attack at the end. I was like, all one health, and he was good and gone. I was like, oh my god. I didn't think it did that much damage to him, but okay. Hello.
Shields will do a lot of damage. And yeah, you did northwards of 20k with just that one cat scratch. So that's 40,000 damage just there in those 3 turns. So
Yeah, I didn't see I wasn't looking at the damage. I was trying to queue up my elixirs and stuff to get out of the 1 health. So I didn't see the cat scratch go off for that much damage. And when he went to Goner, I'm like, oh crap, okay, shield time. I was like, I gotta get out of this.
So tell us a little bit about your, I guess, approach to this seed here. What did you do with the options that you were given?
Well, I did Maria first because, I mean, Illumina, you have Edgar. Edgar's a natural user. I wanted to get that first to get early game. I saw Cat Scratch on Gouge, but the problem was I couldn't find any good weapons for him. I ended up with putting up Excalibur on him. And I picked Shadow with the throw command, so I knew that I had good early damage between the Illumina on Edgar and throws on Shadow, so I knew I could get through the early game push of the 2.5 times scaling. But the problem I had was I couldn't find Mog, and I last located Mog, and I got stuck on Spicy Chicken. If those 2 things didn't happen, I'm pretty sure my time would have been a hell of a lot lower than that. But overall, I think I did good. I mean, overall, personally. So I don't really do draft races. So, my early game problem was I didn't have money, so I couldn't get the Tizen Thief reward. It was just out of my price range, so that was my small problem. But it was a small problem to have later on because I did have. I knew where the Esper was at the end, so I got my 8th Esper there, and then I had to find Mog at the end, which I didn't know where he was. So, but that was my problem at the end. I just couldn't find Mog, and I got stuck with Spicy Chicken, so...
Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't know if I don't think, it doesn't look like you talked about it, but the 6th character was Celeste at Moogle Defense, which also opened up the seed a little bit further. But yeah, without getting Mog right away, it sort of led you further and further behind because you only had 3 characters for way longer than the rest of the crew. And
what I got prevented was I didn't find dried meat, so I couldn't do the Galvelt check, which was where Mog was, so I didn't have dried meat. So it was one of those things like, oh great, it's one of those, and we know it comes up once in a while on the chat is being roadblocked by dried meat, and that's what happened to me in this run.
Yeah,
I think if that's what prevented me from having a good time. So it's just the way it is, unfortunately, and it's one of those mechanics we'll discuss verbatim in the Discord and all that till beating a dead horse and turning into dried meat, I guess. But I mean,
horse jerky is the best jerky.
Yeah, it's
no
horse
cap.
jerky. Yeah. But it's just that's what happened. I mean, what happened was I couldn't find dried meat, so therefore I couldn't progress the seed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Also, trying to fight a poltergeist with a single character at level 31 is probably not a good idea either, as you found out. So
yeah, I tried. I even went back and I gave myself the ice shield and stuff like that. And it wouldn't have been as bad if it wasn't for the elemental swap out, making Spicy Chicken basically an earth elemental.
Yep.
Which Element Shield does nothing against, by the way.
Yep.
So that was the other problem too.
Yep. Yeah. The random elemental scaling was definitely one of the things that I know me and Fitz put on our radar early on, as this should be really interesting to see what happens later on in the season.
Yeah, if he was casting those fire spells, those like rock fall spells and stuff like that, my Edgar could have stayed in a lot better. The first battle, he never even really stopped me until I had him down quite a ways. So as long as I could avoid stop, I would have been fine. But with the elemental swap out, it didn't matter because he was doing rock slides and stuff. How you doing? All right, I gotta go anyways. I gotta take a dog out. My wife needs me. So yeah, GG's to them. Again,
thank you for running it as well, Saber.
Sucks I couldn't find the dried meat though. That sucks.
Stock up on jerky this time of the year. We know what you're getting in your stocking, Saber Wolf. And
oh yeah,
thanks for running. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.
Laters.